If you're self-employed or a business owner, whether you're applying for a loan, a mortgage, or even a visa or other situations where you may need to prove your income, it is highly likely you'll be asked for a SA302 form. In this video, we will cover what exactly is a SA302, 4 reasons why you will need a SA302, what does the form actually show, is a SA302 the same as a self-assessment tax return, and finally, how can you get your SA302? Before I get into today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to make sure you're kept up to date with all of our latest content. This really helps us to produce more helpful videos and to get you real quality advice from real qualified accountants. If you're an employee on PAYE, then your payslips are normally sufficient in providing verification of your income and financial ability in the event you want to apply for a mortgage, loan, visa application, or other verification reasons. But what if you're self-employed or a limited company business owner? What if you are employed on PAYE but have other sources of income that could improve your affordability to borrow? The SA302 form is HMRC's solution to this, and it is a summary of income that has been declared on your self-assessment tax return. It is useful in situations where you need to prove your income to lenders and other interested parties. The SA302 is an official form from HMRC and contains their logo, so acts as a third-party verification of your income. The SA302 is usually available for the last 4 tax years, assuming that a tax return was submitted to cover each period. A tax year runs from the 6th of April to the 5th of April of the following year. At the beginning of April, we granted early access to the Accounting and Tax Academy membership site. In July of this year, we're opening our doors to everyone. Our members will have access to in-depth tutorials, free downloads, and exclusive discounts. And the best part is, it's absolutely free to join. Head to the link in the description box below to register your interest today. The SA302 form is useful for anyone who needs to prove their income in an officially accepted format. Although the most common seeker of the SA302 are self-employed individuals and limited company owners, it can be useful for employed individuals with additional income sources as well. 4 of the most common examples of when you might need to produce an SA302 are when you're applying for a mortgage, when you're taking out a loan, in demonstrating income for a visa application, or applying for grants. Although these are some of the most common examples we come across, technically any third party that requires you to demonstrate your income could ask for a SA302. The SA302 is a summary of earnings and taxation, so it will include details of income from employments, self-employment profits, profit from UK land and property, dividends received, interest from banks, building societies or other institutions, and calculation of income tax liability on the above. The summary also details your name and tax reference for identification purposes. An item that is not included on the SA302 are capital gains, which are usually considered one-off events, and most loan and mortgage lenders would not usually consider them as a reliable source of income to borrow against. This can leave those who make their money from investing in a difficult position when it comes to borrowing. For example, if you are somebody who makes money from trading stocks or cryptocurrencies alone, this could be considered high risk. This would apply to the vast majority of people with investment income, as they tend to be taxed under capital gains tax rules. However, there are certain situations where their activity could be considered a trade, in which case the income may be considered for lending purposes. In short, no, the two are not the same. A self-assessment tax return is known as a SA100. The self-assessment is usually due by the 31st of January following the end of the tax year and is a means of declaring untaxed income, earnings and gain. The SA302 then looks at the information from the self-assessment that has been submitted and summarizes the information. Think of the SA302 as a summary of earnings. Thankfully for you, due to the digitization of HMRC taxes, if you have access to self-assessment via a government gateway login, then you can download and print your SA302 yourself very easily. Just follow these simple steps to print a tax calculation, in other words, a SA302. Number 1 is to log into your government gateway account. Proceed to the self-assessment section, navigate down to previously filed returns, and you can select the year you want a SA302 for. You can then continue through to print your full calculation. If you are represented by or have an accountant, then they should be able to produce and provide an SA302 going back up to 4 years for you. However, your accountant can only make an online request on your behalf for the SA302 itself to be sent directly to you by post from HMRC.